Hello, everyone. I came out to the river to see if I could channel some information around an answer to a question that somebody asked around being trapped. They had been listening to some podcasts and they'd heard the words wormhole and computer game and simulation, and those words mixed with the idea of being reincarnated over and over again, the concept of that created a huge fear in their system. And so, yes, we wanted to come and channel to see if anything came through. So let's see. Quite the opposite. The relative world, it is changing, it is impermanent, but we're never trapped in it. We have one foot in it, but we have the majority of our being in a timeless space that is unbounded and untrapped and unaffected by anything that happens in the relative world. And so the larger part of your being has really nothing to do with the relative world. I mean, it's in it, but it's also out of it. So, even the idea of reincarnation is a trap in itself, because consciousness, it exists separate to any cycle of reincarnation. Reincarnation would only exist in a relative field. And so whenever we get caught into concepts, we're not being fully ourself. When we're being fully ourself, we're pure consciousness, unbounded, unlimited, impossible to be trapped or caught in anything. And that's the wonder about meditation, is it gives us a direct experience of exiting the body. If we meditate effortlessly and we transcend, we have a direct experience of being outside of the limitations of the relative sphere. And so when the mind starts circling around and ruminating on concepts such as wormholes and reincarnation and simulation and video games, just know that it doesn't know the answers. And because it doesn't know the answers, it's not capable of knowing the answers to those existential questions. It can just spin out of control and create fear and anxiety in the human body. But the consciousness that's outside of it, isn't afraid. Yes, my mic is doing something weird. Um, the consciousness that's outside of it can relieve people of an ocean of misery and fear. And so any connection with the consciousness outside of the human body will relieve you of that paranoia. And so I would recommend meditate, transcend, and then ask the question again, and it won't make sense. That's a really helpful thing to know to do. That's always a little hack. If I'm flabbergasted and I'm confused and I'm ruminating and I'm anxious, transcend the mind, come back into the mind, then the mind will be infused with stillness, and then it settles, and it doesn't really want to find answers anymore that it can't find answers to. So that's a little hack. Just come back into the body, out of the mind. The body has intelligence within itself too. You come into the nervous system and you feel the vibration of your cells and you body scan and get out of your head. Those kind of thoughts, they just dissolve and disappear and they don't really make any sense anymore. So that's another thing you could do. Go exercise, relax. Let me just see if anything else comes up. The cosmos is inside your nervous system. So when you talk about wormholes, you're talking about things inside yourself. People don't really get that. They think that the cosmos is outside, but that's an illusion. It's actually inside, and there's some meditation techniques where you realize that when you go out, connecting to the stars and to the cosmos, and then you have a realization that it's inside, not outside. So there's like a collapse that happens. And so, whenever we're talking about wormholes, whenever we're talking about things in the universe that freak us out, they're within us. They're not outside of us. And so, we have more control over it than we think. And so, I'll leave you with that there's nothing outside of yourself. These things are not out there going to attack you or trap you, they're within you. The sun is within you, the stars are within you. Every planet that ever existed is within you. Everything's within you. It kind of appears to be outside, but it's inside. Trust me on that. Jai Gurudev.